go.
All right. Oh, let me put this in. I'll throw it in Discord. I can find Discord.
I don't know where you get these pictures, but these are awesome.
Right, I was just thinking that is a very specific picture. Good job.
Uh-huh.
That must have taken forever.
Which
Two
one?
eagles.
The first one with two eagles.
Yeah, the two eagles. I'm like, oh, there we go.
Perfect.
All right. So it's been a month, so we missed a session, but session 74 was called Stormy Nights and Explosive Kittens, a Castle Ravenloft heist story. So they had little time to ponder Van Richten's summons, as they were still huddled inside the tower, besieged by the relentless attacks of the giant rock. With little chance of defeating the colossal creature, the group opted to outsmart it by luring it away with more tempting prey. Juniper swiftly conjured two towering eagles and dispatched them in the opposite direction, drawing the rock's attention away. As anticipated, the massive bird took the bait and set off in hot pursuit, allowing the party a fleeting opportunity to slip away from Solanka Pass undetected and descend Mount Gakkus in haste. Deckard was the first to bolt out of the tower, his voice echoing behind him as he taunted the group. I don't need to outrun that damn bird, just all I use. Above them, Muriel, who had transformed into her bird form, soared ahead, expertly guiding them along the quickest descent down the mountain. Eventually, they arrived safely at the base of the mountain and spent the remainder of the day trekking along the road that led to Van Richten's tower. There, they were greeted with enthusiastic welcomes from both Esmeralda and Van Richten. In their haste, the group scurried up to the tower's top floor, only to discover that Van Richten and his apprentice had captured a hostage from Castle Ravenloft, a pitiful mongrel folk named Cyrus Bellevue. They quickly learned that Bellevue was an attendant of Lord Strahd and possessed knowledge of the castle's layout, including the possible location of a study or library. Books, books, the creature snorted. Lots of books in the book room. With this valuable information, Van Richten suggested a daring heist to steal the Tome of Strahd from the castle's library. Despite the inherent danger of the plan, the group was eager to accept the challenge and plotted their course of action meticulously. Van Richten, Esmeralda, and Spargle gathered to discuss the intricacies of modifying Van Richten's teleportation circle to connect with the corresponding circle located high within Castle Ravenloft. The task would require an impressive mastery of arcane knowledge, but Spargle had diligently collected the necessary tools and notes during their travels and was confident in his abilities to rise to the challenge. Unfortunately, the first attempt was a complete disaster. Spargle knelt down to draw the arcane circle, but a bit of dust flew up his nose, causing him to sneeze and scatter the chalk everywhere. With disappointment written on their faces, the group gathered to discuss a backup plan, including scaling the walls or attempting a frontal assault. Meanwhile, Spargle feverishly studied his notes, determined to recreate the circle from scratch. After several moments of intense concentration, he finally succeeded in recreating the circle on the tower's rooftop. Ragnar, drawing on his vast archaeological studies, assisted by identifying some patterns in the runes which helped Spargle rebuild the circle. With a triumphant grin on his face, Spargle declared they were now ready to embark on their dangerous journey. However, he cautioned that the imperfect circle may carry significant risk. The party spent several minutes discussing their plan and how to escape once they had secured the tome. Cyrus offered a sinister suggestion with a laughing snort. Just walk out the front door. But the group knew it wouldn't be that simple. They decided to focus on getting into the castle and retrieving the book first, then worry about escape later. To extract information from Cyrus, the group used his Sphere of Heights to their advantage and dangled him from the tower. Eventually, they obtained the necessary details, and Esmeralda provided them with additional supplies before bidding them farewell. One by one, the party members stepped into the teleportation circle, disappearing from view. As Van Richten's tower faded away, the last thing they saw was the old man delivering another kick to Cyrus, sending him swinging in the wind. As they emerged from the teleportation circle, the party found themselves standing on a frigid, windswept balcony high above the ground encircling several large rooms. The curtains of the rooms were tightly drawn shut, providing no glimpse of what lay beyond. The night was stormy, with frequent flashes of lightning illuminating the area. Deciding to make their way around the perimeter, the group attempted to move stealthily. However, their efforts were in vain when Ragnar accidentally collided with Alaric, resulting in a loud clang that echoed across the castle. In a panic, they heard the sound of heavy footsteps approaching their location. Thinking quickly, Decker darted forward to investigate the source of the commotion. His eyes fell upon an elegant suit of armor, charging towards him with seemingly no one inside. The group realized it was an enchanted suit of armor animated by dark magic. With weapons drawn and spells at the ready, the party engaged in a grueling battle with the animated armor, unleashing a barrage of bolts, spears, swords, magic, and even exploding kittens. Finally, the armor fell lifeless to the ground, and the group continued on their way along the parapet. The path led to a dimly lit hallway flanked by dark alcoves, each housing a statue with a twisted expression of terror. Spargo used the Wand of Secrets to reveal a hidden door behind one of the statues, while Alaric noticed another door emanating warmth and light. The group opted to investigate the warm doorway first, and were delighted to find a luxurious study beyond the door. The room was exquisitely furnished, and an intricately detailed painting of Irina Kolyana hung above a roaring fireplace. The tome they sought was resting on the mantel below the painting. Without hesitation, Ragnar rushed forward and snatched the Tome of Strahd from its place on the mantel. He hunkered down and started pouring through the book at incredible speed, while the rest of the party took a moment to regroup. And there we are.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey. Did you catch some of the recap?
I did. I caught about the last minute and a half.
Okay. Well, you have the link too if you want to skim it or remind yourself something later. That's good too.
I remember all of that, but why can't I remember the exploding kitten part?
I'm
Like,
I'm
why
having
is that
trouble
the
with
part
that
I
too.
can't remember?
That
I was
is
wondering the
Alaric. When Alaric goes into his blood rage, there's like magical things that manifest sometimes around him. And in this instance, when you're fighting the suit of armor, it's a kitten, and it's like an evil, whatever, not evil, but blood spawn kitten thing that happens when he rages, and it went off and exploded in the armor.
Fantastic.
So
It was a first.
what do you think about the painting of Irina? It's I don't know. I think
Yeah, so you guys are there. You're in the study now. Ragnar, let's say that you took a short rest if you guys want. But Ragnar reads at an incredible speed. He's a historian. He studies. Look, he's got it right there. But you guys just let him sort of get in the zone as he's just ripping through this book. And the rest of you can take a short rest, heal if you need to. We'll say it's a good hour or so that you've been in the study at least.
I'm going to use some of my arcane recovery. Excuse me.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, that's long rest. Oh no, it's over a short rest. I can use it. I just don't re-get it to my long.
Right. Yeah, that's right. You
Okay.
once. Yeah, if you haven't used it since the long rest, I think you can use it now. Up to a combined level of 6.
You know what? I wonder if I used it actually. It's selected, so I think I must have done that already.
Okay. I don't remember you talking about it, but we did take a short rest before. You guys did do that, so maybe
I don't know. It's selected, so I'm not going to do it again. I got a feeling because remember I didn't get the long rest; everybody else did. So I think when we took our last short, I might have used it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think Alaric used his bolstering magic on you to give you some slots too at that same time.
Yeah, I recovered some slots. Yeah, because I knew I still have a decent number of slots now, but I must have from between Adam and that. So cool. Hey Sal, why did you name your guy Ragnar? Do you watch Last Kingdom or do you like
I've heard of that. I always had that name
Ragnar
in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I always named like Final Fantasy characters that. So I thought it would be a cool name for a dwarf. Like
yeah, perfect.
Sounds like somebody who works with stone.
Sounds like a dwarf. Yeah. I was wondering. We watched.
You guys see Ragnar reach into his pouch and he pulls out something that looks like the spectacles that they had in National Treasure, like the Ben Franklin like red spectacles. They're not red, but they're like very crude looking spectacles. And he puts them on, when he starts reading, and he looks and he goes, "Not a word." And then he just starts ripping through the book, and he's just going through it like this, just tearing through the book. Every once in a while, you see him just kind of go like this, and you'll hear him sigh like, the Morden's beard, and he's just not looking good. If his face could be any more wrinkly, it's getting wrinkly because he's just like furrowing his brow. At one point, you see him make a face like this. He spits on the ground. So after a time, he finishes the book. You guys are all milling around, I guess, and
While you're reading, I'm just like, kind of like walking around you, like, and just like kind of hopping, and like every time you make a noise, I'm like, what, and I just kind of, but I'm waiting. I know you are Indiana Jones.
in a
Jennifer is,
minute.
like looking over your shoulder for pictures, but she doesn't see any.
And Alaric is just amazed that these guys can read. He's like, you guys can read?
What is that? What are those lines?
I love this scene that I have painted in my head right now. Like, you guys have painted the perfect scene. Ragnar grumpy, just grunting at every few pages. Spargle just bouncing around, like really anxious. Juniper frustrated. There's no pictures.
He's much older than them, so their anxiety and energy is just irritating to him. He's seen like multiple invasions of Mithril Hall and stuff, so he can just sit here and read this book and like not even think about it. But he kind of like slaps at Spargle a little bit when he gets too close. "I'll be done in a minute, lad." So he takes the book and he kind of puts it down like this. "We're in a lot of trouble. We're in a lot of trouble, friends. We've made a few mistakes." He gets up and starts pacing and walks up to the painting and looks at the painting, and he goes, Does this look familiar to you, lads?"
Well, that's
A
Irina.
little bit.
That's not Irina, that's Strahd's girlfriend. This book reads like a dwarven soap opera. From what I can understand in this book, that girl's name was Tatiana, and she lived 300 years ago, or more.
Has Juniper heard of this? Trivia?
No,
Okay.
you have not.
Her name's Tatiana, and Strahd's been trying to get with her. He's been trying to make her his bride for centuries. But it gets worse. Do you lads remember? Do you remember Spaghetti von Holtz? The fancy lad that we gave Irina to.
Yeah.
Vasily was his name.
Silly. Yeah. Spaghetti.
It appears, as it says here in this book, that that's Strahd's alter ego. That's a name that he uses to walk among the people.
So we were hanging out
gave-
with them.
We hung
That
out
was
with him.
Strahd?
That was Strahd von Zarovich, I think. I'm pretty sure. I mean, nothing is certain in life except death, but I'm pretty sure that was Strahd. He mentions using that name to move about the people.
Wow.
We handed Irina over to Strahd.
That's not the worst of it. You see this disgusting piss-smelling mist that's everywhere
Yeah.
in this foul land? It seems that he's a prisoner of the mists as much as we are, and he's looking for a way out, and he can't get out. But he made a deal. He made a deal with death, and he killed his best friend and he killed his brother on the day of his brother's wedding. He killed his brother because he wanted to be with his brother's fiancée. And then she fell off the battlements of Ravenloft, and he's been looking for a way to either find her body, resurrect her, or have some kind of closure in his life. And every few decades he comes across somebody that looks like her. And Irina is that person now.
Like when we look at that painting, how, like now that we're looking at it closely, how much does it look like Irina?
We thought it was Irina, right?
Right.
Like we saw it and we were just like, oh, that's Irina.
Yeah, Sparkle, make like a history check.
So Sal, should we start calling Strahd Setzer?
Pretty much.
Dude, I called this shit a long time ago. I was talking to Matt about it.
Yeah. 16.
So it's a spitting image of Irina. I mean, it is. If there were photography in Barovia, you would think it was a photograph of her. But it strikes you as odd that it is an old painting. Let's say it's an oil-based painting. It's like you're looking at one in the Louvre that has like the little cracks and stuff from it, just from the centuries of drying and splitting. If you look at it real close, the frame itself, and even just the fading of things. Like this has not been painted in the last couple hundred years.
Has it been dusted? Like, is it maintained?
That it has been. Like actually, this room particularly is immaculate. There's not dust in it. Everything's polished and well maintained.
There's some more, lads. So he grabs his beard and he just kind of just goes like this. So this has been going on for a few hundred years, and seems some of the families in Barovia were loyal to Strahd and some weren't. The Wachters were fairly loyal. On the night of his brother's wedding, one of the other families poisoned everyone in Strahd's, retinue. And a lot of them died of poisoning, and the Wachters were one of the only families that stayed true. And they're loyal to him now, so we should be wary of them. We were bedfellows with them too, and that was a mistake. And he specifically mentions having a pact with death himself. And that's how he gets power. And he's been studying the arcane for 300 years, accumulating knowledge, looking for ways out. But he specifically mentions two things that could be very useful to us. Number one, holds up a fat dwarven finger. He's very afraid of sunlight, as we would imagine. He's terrified of it. He specifically mentions a sword of some kind of a sun sword or some kind of a blade, which I think we have. My dwarven friend over here has it. So this could be useful. Another thing, he mentions where his tomb is, where he rests when he's not active. Remember, Van Richten said he's in a period of hibernation or something. It's deep beneath Castle Ravenloft. So if we were to try to go there, it is not in the castle. It is beneath the castle. If we were going to try to find that. So that's it. There's a lot of juicy gossip in here. There's a lot of stuff in here about different families that betrayed him. But the man made a deal with the Reaper himself.
Doesn't say when he hibernates, does it?
Doesn't give a good indication of that.
It's really interesting to learn all that. Like, I mean, none of us realized that he was trapped here ever, right? I don't think that was a bit of knowledge that we ever had. We just always assumed that this was just his domain, and he was like, "You do as I say." That's
Alaric,
very
it's good you bring
eye-opening.
that up. It's good you bring that up, Alark. That's a point I wanted to make. We thought that the mist was of his making to keep everyone out. The mist seems to be to keep him in. I can do from what I read. He says Tatiana leaped off Ravenloft and disappeared into the mists. And he even mentioned speaking to the gypsies about how to navigate the mists, and he hasn't been able to figure it out. So I would think that it's something that he wants to do and can't figure out. He's trying to accumulate power to do it.
How in
It's
the
to
hell did
keep
he
him
get
in.
Spargle back to our world then?
All of us.
Well, I meant
Oh,
Spargle.
yeah,
Didn't
he
you?
sent
Weren't
me
you here
back.
and then you left?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe it just locks him in, but he still has control over other people because it seems like he has a lot of power over this kind of stuff.
He's been planning for hundreds of years.
Yeah, Deckard's been, quiet. This actually, Deckard's been over at a desk with his feet up. He's been paging through a book, titled "Dragon Breath and Unicorn Farts: the odors of Barovian creatures." He's been leafing through it.
Is it a scratch and sniff?
Yeah, you see him scratch it. He kind of puts it down and he says, "Ragnar, what you're saying here, I feel like we've pretty much just given Stroud everything that he wanted."
It would appear so. He mentioned
So,
that he's trying to get that girl back. He's been trying to get her for hundreds of years.
so I'd imagine we've got to be in his good graces.
I guess you could look at it that way. Maybe he sees us as pawns in some kind of game.
You don't think that Irina could possibly be like the resurrected Tatiana, or I mean, she looks just like this Irina. We
Maybe they're related.
Maybe he's trying to use her in one way, shape, or form to bring back Tatiana. Like, let her be the host.
So he mentions when this happened once before. He met a girl, ironically. Remember when we were in the ruins of Berez? It's where we fought the hag flying around in the dragon's skull.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he met a young lady there who looked just like Tatiana. This was 50 years after she died. And she looked just like her, and then he used his powers of persuasion and magics to jog her memory, and it appeared to him that it was her, but with some sort of a block on the memory. Long story short, the people that were harboring her in Berez murdered her so that she wouldn't be with Strahd, because they felt that he would defile her innocence or whatever. And when Strahd went to look for the body, he said again that the body disappeared into the mists. And he also said that about his best friend after he killed him. He went back to look for the body, and the body had disappeared. So he does love this girl. He loves this girl. He wants to be with this girl. It's all he's wanted. He killed his own brother. And every time he tries to get her, he gets his hands on her. He said it's happened numerous times. And then something tragic happens.
Is there any evidence of his brother being resurrected?
He makes no mention of that. He killed his brother because he was jealous of his youth.
And how long ago did he kill his brother? Long time ago, right?
300 plus years.
Did he hate his brother, or did he just want his lady?
He mentions that Strahd mentions that he was a soldier his whole life, and he felt like he was doing his family's duty, fighting in wars and encampments and different campaigns. And by the time he was done fighting, he was already an older man. And he felt like his younger brother was, good looking and didn't have all the weight of that stuff on his shoulders. And then he meets this Tatiana and just had this like beautiful life ahead of him, and Strahd felt like he had his life behind him. And he just got sick with jealousy.
Hmm.
I'll say this. We dwarves, have you heard of the Dwergar? The dark dwarves?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They sometimes make pacts with evil deities, things that are too deep in the ground, monstrous entities, and they make deals that they shouldn't make. It seems to me that Strahd made a deal, and even he didn't realize what he was giving up, because he can't even get what he wants, and whoever he made the deal with is taking things from him. So I think that he did make a deal with death. I've traveled in the Underdark. We fought the Drow. They make deals with Loth and other demonic entities. So that kind of stuff is real. So it seems like Strahd is in league with something like that.
Well, what do you think we
You
should
know how to get in touch with death?
The way he got in touch with him is not something that we would want to do. That he got in touch with him the night of his brother's wedding when he made the decision to kill him. I just hope we're not pawns in some kind of game. I keep thinking about why did Ezek have those dolls? What was that about?
He knew her, right? I mean, not only did he have the dolls, but he seemed like he was shocked when he saw her face, and there was that recognition, and he thought that obviously he knew her because of the dolls. Like he probably, but he seemed like there was more than just whatever romantic.
There's something that we don't know, and I feel like he's playing a more advanced version of a game than we are. And we need to start seeing the other angles. Because we've already been played a few times. We gave him Irina. So I don't know what the next move is. I don't know if you guys want to try to dig under the castle or something. It sounds like it's well defended.
Do
He
we?
mentions not being disturbed if he's down there.
I agree that he seems like he's playing with us. I mean, he's kind of showed up at the beginning and just like seemed amused by us. I mean, he could have. I think Deckard, right? Didn't he like throw a fireball that could have probably wiped us all out? Like, I don't remember. Right?
Yeah, I think he's been. Man, we pretty much given him everything he might have wanted.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, what ships do we hold? Do we just try to take him down? Do we try to deal with him?
Well, maybe that's it. I mean,
Just
can't
go dig
imagine
them up.
Yeah, dig up some bones.
I
Mhm.
think we're outside of. I think it's between him and whoever he made the deal with, and I think we're just variables on the board. We're wild cards, because nobody. You would think that we would have heard of the mists clearing or something. That he was able to leave. So he probably still needs something. Needs some kind of a spell or something to get out. Because every time he's gotten Irina in the past, or Tatiana in the past, it's ended very, very tragically for him.
Why
So
don't
he's
we?
trying to break that cycle.
Why don't we just cut a deal with them and tell them we'll help them figure out how to get the hell out of here so we can get out of here? I mean, already helped him do pretty much everything he wants to do. Probably trust us.
I don't think we can trust him.
Well, he can't. I mean, he can't trust us, but better than trying to fight him. I mean, that dude shoots fireballs and shit.
If we try to make a deal with him, we have to be very careful and really know what we're doing. Otherwise, we'll be just played.
Well, we have the weapons that he fears, so that gives us some leverage.
Learn anything else?
It seems that when he took over Barovia, he had some clergy people, some holy men and women in his group. And he wasn't religious per se, but he wasn't against religion. He understood that it helped control the masses. So I'm wondering, because as he traveled around and as he was trying to do different things, he mentions attacking different religious sites and being trapped by holy symbols. There was one time when he was attacking one of the people that poisoned him. He went in a room and there were holy symbols all over the room, and he nearly died. So I wonder what the relevance of that is to the abbot and all the weird stuff going on with that weird church with the mongrel folk and people in Vallaki doing the festival of the rising sun or whatever. I wonder if that's left over from back in the day where they thought maybe that would help keep him away.
Well,
I'm
the
not
abbot
sure what
wanted
that
to please
means.
him. He wanted to, but I don't think he knew about Tatiana too much because he's trying to give her this, whatever, that new bride that doesn't look like Tatiana.
You know what I wonder though, now that you bring that up? Didn't that girl that the abbot have, didn't she look somewhat undead-ish, a little sickly?
Dan, did she? I thought she just looked like a porcelain doll almost, right? Like, didn't she?
I don't want to so I don't want to overshare, but yeah, no, I mean, what you all noticed is she was, yes, very like pale white, bleach white, porcelain like skin, and very sort of almost robotic like. She never spoke, but she was graceful. Like she was like the abbot had her doing like
Like a dance
pirouettes
routine?
and yeah, and like doing like what I would think like royal court sort of etiquette type of things, and she was very graceful and all that.
Remember the abbot brought your friend Blackwin back to life, right? But he woke up screaming?
Oh yeah.
I wonder if maybe the abbot found one of the previous bodies. But that's just conjecture because Strahd says they disappear into the mist every time he loses her. So I wonder what the abbot thinks he has.
If we can find any part of this Tatiana, then I can bring her back. I mean, if we wanted to give him his Tatiana, if we could find a chunk of her.
Well, he already has Irina.
Yeah.
I forget, what did we do with Blackwood?
We left him.
Blackwin is, yeah, I think he's staying at the Baron of Kresk and his wife are because he was catatonic, and you guys are really good with Kresk and the leaders there, the Baron and his wife, and that's where your horse is and Blackwin and everything. So I think he's there.
Well, came here for this information, right? Is this what we came for?
Seems like we
This
gained a
is-
lot of knowledge.
This is what we're here for. I don't know if you guys want to storm through the castle from up here, but that animated suit of armor gave us a hell of a ride.
Are you gonna keep that book? Because I found a few other ones that have pictures in them.
That's a good question, Juniper. I don't know. I don't know if we should keep it. I don't know if we should, because then he'll know we were here. He probably knows he could figure it out anyway, but I don't. Who knows what
So-
spells he has.
Mischievous look on her face and says, "Maybe we draw something in the back of it.
I
I
tell
can find
you
it
what,
later, like a surprise."
let's see if it's obviously important because of the information, but I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Ooh.
And then
Oh, wait.
I'm just curious if the tome has any magical properties. Maybe it's, who knows? It's his. If it's that important to him, who knows? Maybe we bargain with that, or who knows? But if we do, he'll know it's gone probably pretty quick. So I agree with you guys. If we take it, he'll know quick. Probably pretty pissed.
He will know it's gone.
So is it written like his journal?
It's written like the journal entry thoughts of a man who's had a lot of time.
And he keeps it on the mantle area?
Yes, he appears to be a raving narcissist. He's very self-important. Remember, he killed his own brother.
Fair. Are there any other books in this room that might give us more information on what we're dealing with, or like things we should know about Strahd?
Or is anything glowing in the room too?
Let's see here. So who did what?
I think
Somebody cast detect magic on the
I
book.
cast detect magic, and I think Juniper's looking for any other like kind of books. Right, Juniper, is that what you're like saying? See if there's anything else that might be related.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like wait until after you do the detect magic, though. I think that might be a better strategy.
Okay, so Spargle. So as Ragnar's talking and you guys are asking questions and having this conversation, and everybody's kind of chilling around the study here. Spargle, you just cast detect magic on the book.
Yeah,
Do you physically touch the book when you do that, or are you getting pretty close to it?
I think it's 30 feet. I'm looking like if the book or anything else within 30 feet. Who knows? There could be other books or something.
So surprisingly, you cast detect magic. You're focused on the book, but you're also looking around the room. Other than the things you guys have brought in yourselves that are all magical, there really isn't anything emanating magic, including the book itself.
So maybe you're right, Ragnar. Maybe we just leave it. Do you think you know it well enough that you could retain?
There's a lot of diplomatic and a lot of gossip and different things with lords and houses, but I mean we know the main key points. Another point I forgot to mention was I think the Wachters know that Vasily is Strahd, because come to think of it, in ages past, Vasily did some work for the Wachters to help them get some revenge, and I think that Deckard, remember that guy who gave you the silver knife, the guy from Wachter House, the sneaky guy.
Yeah, why am I blanking on his name?
I am too. Ernst.
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 I think
Young.
they know. I think they know that Vasily von Holtz is. I think they have an inkling. It might be passed down in the family because it was many ages ago, but I think they know, and I think they played us. So we owe them something. We owe the Wachter House something.
Friends with all these people. I mean, I wonder. I mean, they all think we're on their side. I'm wondering if we can use that to our advantage.
Well, I don't know.
No, I
After
think
their
the
town
Wachters
burned down,
blamed us. They blamed it on us. The whole
Did they know it was us?
they
No,
played.
they
They played us. They played us. They used that whole thing, and then they said we sowed rebellion in
Yeah.
Vallaki.
Oh,
yeah,
I must have missed that. I forgot. They did. How did they know it was us? Let's let that place
I
on
don't
fire.
think they cared. They were just getting it.
Oh,
were
they
just
just
blaming
used.
us.
They used us as outsiders to just push blame. They played us the whole time. That old battle axe is going to hear from me.
I mean, just because we later on did burn down Vallaki, that doesn't give any justification for the rude things they said to us.
There was a thing, just as a reminder, that happened between the Festival of the Blazing Sun, which is when you guys were at Vallaki, then you left, and then there was something that there was another religious festival while you guys weren't there that ended up going off the rails, and that's what the Wachters, who were then in who you guys had positioned to be leading the town after you had murdered the other leaders. So remember, there was the Vallakis, the Vlakoviches, the Burgomaster and his wife and their two big mastiffs, and who Ezek was their henchman. You guys wiped them out. Then you left. Who you were working for, Lady Wachter. Lady Wachter then and Ernst kind of assumed control of the town. A few days later, there was a religious festival. And then that's the one that went off the rails, and like vampires and bats showed up and like killed everybody. By the time you guys got back to town, the Wachters had already pinned the blame for that whole situation on you guys, so you were wanted essentially when you came back to Vallaki. And then you burn it down.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, so they
somewhat
didn't blame the fire on us. They blamed that other stuff on us.
Yeah.
They would have been more justified if it was the fire.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Was the town basically
We'll
kind of
show you.
Fool me can't be fooled again.
no double jeopardy. You blamed the other shit on me.
That's right.
they kind of controlled the town too, right? The thralls and the Wachters at that point, right? When
They
we
did
were-
at that point, yeah. Like they're like cultists with the black robes and the silver daggers and everything. Basically, assumed control of the town once you took Ezek out and the old Burgomaster and all that at the Festival of the Blazing Sun. They basically had full. There was nothing in their way to take control of the town.
Once we removed all the barriers to the takeover. Oh shit!
We
I don't
screwed
know.
up a bunch of times, lads.
What do you guys think we should do? I don't know how much long we want to linger here.
I need to grab a drink, but I'm gonna listen. I can hear you guys, so keep chatting.
I would want to talk to Van Richten about what we've learned. Would be my vote.
He seems like he'd know what to do.
Remember, we can't leave the same way we came.
The little furry guy said we could go out the front door.
And what do we do to get back out of here?
Did we even see a flight of stairs down?
No.
I think we did.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
In that little hallway. There's a hallway.
You're right. Yeah, right when we
Staircase.
walked in. You're right. We did. We just never went
We
down.
saw the light. Yeah, we saw the light under the door.
We encountered one thing, and it put up a hell of a, this is something patrolling the roof, and it put up a hell of a fight. If we go down through this thing, I wonder how many other things we're gonna run into. Or do we just face it and make all our way down to the basement and then just try to face Strahd? I don't know what Van Richten's going to be able to tell us that we know more than he does at this point.
Right. So we
So,
just go
like-
get the bastard.
We could try to fight our way through the rooms.
We're
would
here. We
anybody
might as well
know-
just go find Strahd.
Would anybody know if vampires work the same way in Faerun as they do in Hollywood? Like with the sleep during the daytime, weak to sunlight, don't like garlic, have to be invited in.
I would say, I mean, you guys would assume that Van Richten would be like your expert on such matters, but I'm trying to think if any of you, I mean, anyone can make like like an Arcana check.
I don't know if I would have ever heard of vampires, but maybe one of you would have.
Well, the tome Ragnar said that he hates sunlight too, so and he fears sunlight. So maybe
Yeah, he says that, and he references himself as a vampire in the book. I don't know if I mentioned that, but he does refer to himself as that.
as
Does
a
he have
vampire.
allergies?
Yeah, he said the only thing he says a stake through the heart won't kill him, but it'll slow him down, and sunlight will hurt him, and he's not happy with it, and the sword.
So even if we found him sleeping and put a stake through the heart, what if we put a sun sword through the heart?
That
That might be the ticket.
more effective. That'd be
That's
more effective.
to stuff that symbol down his throat too.
Put this holy symbol of Ravenkind in his mouth.
Mhm.
That might work. Lads, did anyone ever see Blade?
Yes, lots of times.
I'm gonna grab a beer. I can
so
hear.
glad you said that. I'm gonna make a note of that and watch that soon.
The first one, so
Oh
good.
yeah.
Mhm.
The one with Triple H, not so good.
I don't care. I like them all.
Yeah,
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll-
no,
I
it
like
sucked
them
that it
all.
was
The
cheesy,
first
but I like
movie
them
was-
all.
Triple H, I didn't know that.
Triple H. Remember the one with Ryan Reynolds, Jessica Biel?
Oh,
Remember he was like
So
one of like just
cheesy,
the
big-
honcho vampire dudes.
yeah.
he was a henchman,
Yeah.
and he had a weird little dog.
Yeah, it's a
Like
pretty
a
bad
little
movie. I
scary-
still love it though. I don't give a shit.
So we're in like the very top of Ravenloft right now, right?
Yes, let me retcon correct something that I missed last time. Adam, you asked me, we're looking at the map right now, the 3D isometric map, and where the teleportation circle is and that wall cuts off.
Yeah.
You asked me about that. I misspoke. That actually so the way Castle Ravenloft is there is a very large outer what's called curtain wall. So there's like an outside around the whole structure, this giant wall, and then which encloses like a courtyard, and then the castle itself is within that courtyard. So where you're looking at the map right now and you see the purple little teleportation square where we put it, it actually comes out and extends around the perimeter of the castle, if that makes sense. So there's like another palisade kind of around, but it's just open. It's just like a platform all the way around. You can see it from where you're at.
Okay.
I don't know. Am I describing that okay? Do you guys get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I might be able to show you something else. You know what? I think I can show you this. I would be able to show you. Well, yeah, I can show it later. But anyhow, that's the situation. Everybody and Adam who asked me last time. So right here where I'm pinging, it actually like oop. It like comes out like here and then goes around here and then goes around here. You see this white line I'm drawing?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, that white line. So that like walkway extends around the outer perimeter as well. I mean, I'm not spoiling anything. There's like it's very interesting in that you don't. It's just like a walkway. You can see it from wherever you're standing. It goes around the edge. There's no like doors or windows or walkways or creatures or anything around it. So since there's nothing super relevant, it's for sake of clarity on the map. We just don't see it. But if you guys need it or want to like move that direction, just note that there's another outer sort of walkway around this entire structure you can go around.
Gotcha.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
We're here. I say we get down into this dungeon and take care of Strahd. We don't have a way out of here anyway.
If we were to do that, Juniper and Sparkle, between the two of you, what kind of tricks could you figure out to get us out of here via the roof?
It's via the roof, maybe not much, but I have mold earth, and I'm pretty sure this place is made out of stone.
Could you make some kind of a slide or something?
She looks over at Sparkle. Is there anything you can do?
Well, I can make some of us fly. Not as many as I would like to, just because I'm a little tapped out.
Oh, that's a good idea. I can do flying stuff too. I can turn into something big and carry people.
Yeah.
Or make fey things that fly that can carry people.
Let's see. If I'm reserving that, though, I'm not going to have some of the firepower that I'd like to unleash if we get in a fight. But trying to think here how many I could carry here.
I know
I could make at least 3 people fly, I think.
With a long rest, I'd have access, like Juniper would have access to a lot of different things because she's allowed to change that. But if we want to go down there now, there's not a lot.
I don't know if we could risk a long rest when the vampires study.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think this is the safest place for it, but I'm at full strength. Are you guys? I mean, are you feeling pretty?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Why aren't you feeling good? Did we get in a fight or something?
I didn't get to sleep like you guys did last night.
Remember he was doing the teleport spell?
I was getting us out of the Amber Temple.
Well, I mean, suppose we were going to get out of here. We don't even have a way to do it. If I'm not mistaken. So, might as well.
I wouldn't be opposed to trying to get to the front door. If we can make it to the front door and then see what kind of shape we're in, and we either continue or we get the hell out. But it's going to be dicey.
Juniper, can you get yourself and 2 others?
Yeah, and I can also maybe turn Alark into the giant ape again, and he can grab some people.
Okay. Because I do think then between you and I we can fly out of here. But if you want to move down, I'm up for it. I just think we be real damn careful, because if he is awake, it'll be a lot different than when he's sleeping.
Well, it's been a while since we fought that armor, and nothing's come looking.
True.
Maybe we just walk down the stairs.
I think
It
we could
has-
go room by room.
It has been quiet since you guys have been there. Just as a reminder, so you're in this study, and there's the roaring. There's the roaring fireplace kind of over here. Where the painting is hanging above. There are the door you came in is what I'm pinging here, and there's doorways on every other side of the room.
Oh.
Juniper asked about books in general. Sorry, I didn't get to that. There are at least so Sparkle did detect magic, and you didn't detect anything outside of what you already knew to be magical, including the tome. But generally speaking, the books that are in here are some of the most exquisite, high-end, like well constructed books. Some really like ancient, like gold filigree and really nicely bound. Like these are like high-end, like collector level, like some kind of like amazing library that's taken centuries to compile. As you go through the books, though, it's not like they're spell books or anything like particularly like useful to you, but they all look really valuable. So there's that. They look quite valuable.
Okay. I don't think Juniper's much of a reader.
I'm more into the funnies section of the newspaper than I am books. So Deckard gets up and says, "All right, fam, we got to get a move on here. We can't just sit in this study all day trying to decide what we're going to do."
Alark suggests to Deckard that maybe even just the two of them to start, because they're so stealthy. Head out the doorway they came in and start creeping down the stairs and see what they find.
Before you
I
lads,
like that idea.
Before you lads leave, what's your vote on leaving the book? I'm gonna go with what the group says. Should we leave the book where we found it?
Take the book.
I say take the book.
You
I mean,
already
we're leaving it because we're worried that he's going to come find it, or we just don't want to lug it around. I mean, those are the issues, right?
Letting him know that we were here.
Okay. Yeah,
I-
take it. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say we take
What
it.
if we want to like reference something out of it, or I think it's important.
Spargle?
Just Alark's opinion.
We worked really hard to get that thing. I hate to kind of give it away too. I see what you mean. Like we're giving up some of our element of surprise here if he sees that. But if we're gonna go down and we're trudging to the castle anyway, I mean, we might as well have every ace in our hands.
I'll go with that. We'll
That-
keep the book.
That suit of armor that we fought, is it like still on the ground?
It is.
So he's gonna know we were here anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that might be a little more obvious than a missing book right off the rip.
True.
Hey, you know what? It could even be a
Okay.
bargaining chip too. Like if he loves that book so much, you know what I mean? Here, we'll throw it over
We're
the.
gonna tell all your friends about all your shit.
Well, I meant more like destroy it if he doesn't back off or something. But
Right. Yes.
yeah, we could use
That
the
makes more
share the
sense.
diary secrets too.
We all know who you have a crush on, you creep.
You weird loser.
Right in
Killed your brother.
Tatiana.
Oh my god. Does shame do damage?
Shame.
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 Cast shame.
His
All
best
right.
name, his best friend's name was Alec. He killed him. We can reference that.
What was his brother's name?
Sergey.
Sergey?
What you said is, what was his best friend's name? Alec?
Alec Gwillem. And Sergey von Zarovich.
Oh, Sergey was his brother.
Are we stealthing down these stairs here?
So we give it a go. I mean,
Go do stealth things.
we just, I mean, we're not tromping through the castle looking to get in a fight right away, but I figured, you know, we go out there and start creeping on the steps and at least try to get a gauge on what we're walking into. What else are we gonna do? We're gonna jump off the wall? We're gonna hang out in this room?
Do it.
Let's do some shit.
All right. So what's the game plan?
So
What do you guys want to do?
Alaric and Decker are gonna head back out the way we came in, and go towards. I don't know how to ping. I've only been using Roll20 for
These
5
stairs
years.
here.
Yeah. And just go
We're gonna
go back out there and maybe creep down. I mean, is that the set of stairs you want to go down, or towards the end of the hall, or did it coin toss?
this one. Yeah, let's start with this one.
You want to
closest.
split up and see who lives the longest?
We can do that too.
I'm just kidding.
It's always good.
I
It's always good
would
to split the party in turns.
I would vote we would just go to the closest set of stairs, right? I mean, we don't have any
we'll
other
go
rhyme
here.
or reason to go anywhere else other than the path of least resistance.
We'll be all stealth.
Yep. We're
Scope
fine.
this place out.
All right. So the whole group is walking over to the staircase and going.
Just me and just Alaric and Deckard.
At this point, okay.
Just start, yeah.
We're
We're
gonna
just going to scout it out a little.
Okay. So I'll move this little token here for a second. So you guys walk back out the door that you came in, past the hallway full of statues. It's still late in the evening. The lightning is flashing. It's cold and like windy up here. You look over to your left and you see that long row of like alcoves. It's like a long hallway with alcoves where Spargle had used that wand of secrets. There is there's a staircase at the end of that hallway. Each time the lightning flashes, you guys catch, at least in the first couple of alcoves, the head or the face of the statues. And when the lightning flashes, you see each one of those statues is twisted into like a look of terror. But you look over to your right, and it kind of opens up into like a wider cylindrical sort of staircase that goes up and down. So it's a wide 10, 15 foot wide stone spiraling staircase that goes up and down. Try to reveal some more of this so it looks better, but yeah, I can do like this. Actually, I can probably do. Oh. Did that do it?
Ooh, fancy.
There we go.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, so you're there. You see that it kind of goes up and down. Again, you see that this at the top part here, that is that curtain wall that goes around.
Is there a railing? Like a banister? Looks really unsafe.
There it absolutely is not, and it
Oh my
is very
God.
unsafe. In fact, you can look up and down over the edges, right where you guys are standing right now.
You guys can look up and down. I'm gonna stay close to the wall.
It's super dark in here, so you don't see much when you look up and down, except that it goes off into the darkness. The mosaic floor here So it's kind of like I mean, this is all fancy. Everything, as old as it all is, everything is like some of the most upscale, exquisite, high quality like material you've seen. Mosaic floor adds a touch of color to the otherwise dark, cold, empty tower that rises above you. The spiral staircase rises slowly into darkness, hugging the outer wall. And then in the center of the room, another set of stairs leads down.
Keep on going.
Up or down?
Down. I think Alaric
Castle.
and possibly Deckard. I don't want to speak for him, but I'd probably just keep making my way until I found a reason to stop.
Yep.
Like a living, moving, breathing thing. Well, not breathing. That's a bad example. Or you know what I mean. To hear something. Whatever. Multiple pathways to go as we go down. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm sorry. So you guys are heading down the staircase? Is that the game plan? The group is going down the stairs until they see something. All right. If you want to give me, if you guys want to give me like 5, if you guys want to take a quick break or hit the restroom or something like that, I need a couple minutes just to set up the next map.
Sure.
Sure.
Cool.
So,
Take 5.
Yep.
The double play to send it into extra innings, Will?
Yeah.
Say that again?
Everybody's watching it.
It was tied in the bottom of the 9th in New York. We got out of it.
They're in extra innings.
They're in extra innings now, yeah.
F the Yankees, man.
Yeah,
God,
fuck
I
the
hate
Yankees. Sorry, Sal. Not sorry.
Okay.
You know what I can't stand? Like, it's 2023. Why can't I schedule like a doctor's appointment or a dentist's appointment?
You
why
can't?
can't
I figured you just could at this point. I don't. Shauna does all that shit for me, so I don't even know.
I've got to like call them and
Talk to a human, and they have to look at a thing and tell you what's up. Yeah, that's stupid.
No, what else is really cool? Speaking of that, I love how like, we're adults. We're very very far into being adults. Why is it that you have to go to a GP before you can see any other doctor? Like if you're like,
Right.
man, I got like a throat thing going on. I got like an ear thing. Like you need to see an ENT, but you can't just do that.
can't just go. Right.
Because money.
Have to. It's so stupid.
They make more money for referrals.
Well,
Your insurance makes more money off of it. Yeah.
obviously. I'm just saying it's like
It's actually it's more of an
we're
insurance
We're
thing
still
than it
doing
is.
that.
Yeah. Our healthcare
think it's
industry is not
insurance.
built around people. It's built around money.
Everything's built around money, unfortunately.
So much money as it is, our healthcare system is just inefficient as shit. Hospital and healthcare administration might be the most inefficient thing on the planet.
Yep.
When we had the twins, the amount of paperwork, like bills and stuff that I had mailed to me, like for 2 different kids. So I had stuff for Hillary, I had stuff for Luke and Emmett. Like the amount of things mailed to me. I'm like, how is it not possible for this hospital to like give me one itemized bill of like, here's the 3 people that you owe money for. Here are the things. Here's the total. But it's like, nope, we've got Luke, we've got Emmett, and we've got Hillary. And here's 7 different bills. Here's one from the anesthesiologist. Here's one from the pediatrician. Here's one from the hospital. Here's one from the OB. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's easier to hide all those extra little charges. Just keep sending different bills.
I follow this one lady on Facebook. I'll have to share it with you. She's a young lawyer, and she's super bright, this Asian lady. And she combs through like terms and conditions and like every single thing that we just sign. And then she provides all this like free advice and clinics and stuff online. She's brilliant. And she's like, there's so many things that we all just accept. And it's a lot of it's around the hospital billing. And she has this whole video where she's like, here's what and she tells you, she's like, look for this bill, find this charge, call this number and ask a question. And they legally, like, it's all this stuff we all don't know, lay people don't know. But it's like, we have all these rights that we don't know about to get this stuff. And you just have to know the right question to ask. And she just tells you, she breaks it all down. She's like, call this person, say these exact words. They legally have to tell you. And she's like, there is so much like crazy just overcharge and waste and stuff that most people don't even know that they're getting. Like that, usually it's we're getting fucked, and both the insurance and the hospitals are the ones that are fucking us. And there's all these different things that you need to look out for. This is like one of the. I'll send it. I'll put it on Discord because this woman is brilliant, and I've been like watching her shit. And it's like I don't have these hospital things, but the next time I do, I'm gonna be digging into it a lot more.
Vicious world we live in.
Yeah, it's just like you said. It's just all this extra waste and stuff is crazy.
Well, I mean, I know this mechanic, man. Like he just throws on all these extra charges and shit. You get your bill. Like
you know. I'll tell you what. The older I get, the more I'm like, I fucking should. Everybody else is doing it.
But the thing is, not to derail, but Don always did that. He just didn't he didn't call it that. It wasn't like, he wasn't the idiot that was like 8% shop cleanup fee because a customer's going to be like, what the fuck is this bullshit? What he'd do is just bake it into the labor rate. Right. I mean, he's making the same money. You know, you guys we've always done that. It's just, you don't have to nickel and dime it the way,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Instead of scaring everybody and being like, oh, yeah, you got it. It's going to cost you X amount of dollars no matter what, blah, blah, blah. There's just ways of going about it.
Yeah. Just like Adam gives us all the 20% friends and family discount, but then the original price is marked up 30%. So
37%.
Actually,
I'll be honest. We're recording right now, aren't we?
Yeah. We're streaming.
I always preferred it before you owned the joint because you were more, you didn't care if Don didn't make money. You were like, whatever.
I was like, dude, this is what we paid, so this is what you paid. Don't worry. Fuck that guy.
I'll throw in a free tire, whatever. You're good. And now it's like, no, man. Like,
did he know? Oh. Nope.
Right. Now that it's the difference between a 3080 or a 4090 Ti, it fucking matters to Adam.
Now that he's signing the paychecks, he's like, no, here's all the dollars that you owe. This is what it costs.
Right. Because I'm doing things that I wanted, like, taking care of my employees, but then not fucking my customers over. So I'm like trying to find that like happy medium where I'm not fucking myself over.
Yeah. The bottom line is I've never wanted a deal from Dad or anybody, friends or family. I just want to know I'm not getting screwed. I want to pay a fair price to get the shit done. I'm never looking to get the best deal through my friends. But I just want to know that I'm not getting fucked. That's all.
That's the best
That's
part
the
about it.
advantage right
You know, you're
there.
not.
It's
mean,
that
it is.
simple.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is everybody thinks they're getting deals in all aspects of life on things, but really they're getting fucked in the end. There.
But like if I didn't know
Such a
Adam,
good
I'd be
deal on
paying to get the air changed in my tires and all that stuff. Rotate the air in your tires.
Just rotate it.
Change your
All right. So you guys head down this you're very carefully. Can you make stealth checks for me, please? Everybody.
Here we go.
Pray to
you're
God,
wearing
it's not a one, ma'am.
Disadvantage if you're rocking the heavy armor.
Whew. 13. Not great.
I think I had a higher stealth check before I lost all my character
Can
stats,
I-
but whatever.
Oh. Oh, never mind. You got a 21 anyway.
Thoradin is with you guys, so I've got to roll this.
Okay, he's wearing plate, right?
Are we all going together, or is it just Alaric and me?
Oh, are you two just going down? Sorry, I misunderstood. So if you two are just going to scope it out,
Well,
I
mean,
just need your roll for now.
we can all go. We didn't want to speak for everybody else.
Yeah, do you want us to come or not? I mean, if you guys go, you'll be quieter. I know. If we go, then we're not separated. So either way,
Yeah, whatever we want to do.
Let's just the two of us go. We'll stealth out down there. We'll scope it out, and then we'll get back up here and tell everybody what we need to do.
All right. So Deckard and Alaric head down the stairs. You see what you see here. It kind of ends, and so you're in this like huge, round, cylindrical spiral staircase, which is like the central sort of like feature, I guess, in the middle of the castle, right? So you look down and you get almost a sense. You're looking up or down gives you this sense of like vertigo in terms of like how expansive and echoey and dark it is above and below you. But you're very quiet as you kind of go down the steps and you come down to the floor below you, and it's another sort of landing. And it's where what you see on the map here. You could continue around and continue down, or you can move off down this hallway right here onto this floor. The rest of you make a perception check. Everyone besides Alaric and Deckard. Everybody who's still standing, who's sitting in the study.
7.
12.
25.
Juniper, as Alaric and Deckard walk off, and you guys, the rest of you, are kind of sitting in the study. You hear the faintest little bit of whimpering. Sounds like a female in the room right outside of the study.
Juniper turns to Sparkle and she pulls on his sleeve a little bit. She goes, "Do you hear that? Do you hear it?"
Sparkle, you didn't hear anything.
I don't.
You don't know what she's talking about.
Sounds like
I
someone
didn't
moving.
do that. It wasn't me. I my belly hurt a little earlier, but it's not me.
Oh,
I didn't hear anything.
I didn't.
You see him swish his robes behind him.
She goes, "Oh, it didn't come from your direction. It came from the room next to the study."
Let's go.
We got
I-
third place and then a top 10.
I'll walk up and put my ear up to the
Got a what?
the door.
We got third place.
Okay, then you can go ahead and make another perception check.
Can I
Did
cast
Trios
guidance
before?
on him?
Trios. Oh, the head
Yeah.
Trios is that what you mean?
Okay.
So Sparkle, as you're holding your ear to the door, Juniper, go ahead and describe however you would cast that.
Sure. So she walks over to Sparkle and touches him on the shoulder. And for a moment, there's a
Oh, we did.
faint green glow around you, and you feel a little bit more perceptive. About a D4 more perceptive.
Nice. Okay, so that brought me up to then a 15.
You don't hear any.
Well, and then it like
Yeah, you hear. You just hear you don't hear what she's referring to, but just the very slightest, maybe like bump or like bass sound of like something dropping.
okay.
Just the sound of like just a slight little like couple little taps.
Little movement of some
movement. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe somebody walking, dropping something like that.
I'll say, yeah, I hear it now too. I heard something. Something's in there. Something's moving around.
Maybe we should find the others.
Ragnar, you there too, right?
Yep. And Thornton.
Oh, right. Good call. Sorry, I need to roll. I need
Should
to
we take a
remember to roll
peek?
from. Oh, yeah. So when Juniper said that, Thornton was right there with you. Juniper was like, "Hey, I heard that too. It was like a girl's voice, a girl, crying or yelling or."
And then Thornton farts.
Yeah, then he shit on the floor, and
Everyone's having stomach issues tonight.
That must have been Thoradin before too.
Sounds
you
like
said you heard a girl's voice. You heard whimpering. Thornton.
Yeah. Now that Juniper mentioned it, I heard something like I heard something too. Not sure. Sounded like a sigh or a whimper or something.
Lads, what if Irina's in that room?
That's what I was wondering. Let's take a peek.
Can you ready a spell?
Sure.
I'll open the door. I don't feel like getting bit by anything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get ready to cast a spell if I see something nasty.
All right. What spell?
Oh, let's go with something safe like fireball.
I knew he was going there.
All right, so Sparkle hangs back, gets his fireball ready, and you're going to cast that if what?
If I see something coming at me or dangerous or,
Well, I'll open the door so
Yeah.
you can stay back.
Okay.
Okay, but anything threatening or jumping out at you, you're going to cast fireball.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let's say if he heard if a girl comes jumping out, I'm not gonna just release fireball. But if I see another, headless suit of armor, you know what I mean, or if I see a friggin' vampire.
Anything with fangs, Sparkle.
So maybe I lose a little initiative because of that, you know what I mean? But because I want to at least know what I'm shooting at, but I'm ready to shoot if that makes sense.
Okay. So like toddlers in cages in the top of an old windmill.
I was gonna say I've been burnt, but others have been burnt because of that.
Sorry. Juniper or Amber, what were you saying?
Is there any space under the door? Like, is there a gap at all?
There's a gap enough to like say let light through,
Oh, okay.
light and air. Not enough to like peek through.
Oh, I was like a sword or a dagger or something reflective.
Yeah, you could probably. So let me say there's probably an inch or there's probably 2 inches under the door. That's a gap.
So Juniper's gonna go over to Ragnar and kind of get his attention and ask him if he has anything that he can stick under the door to see what's in there first.
We all have those silver daggers.
Yep.
I'm not putting Shatter Spike under there. That's no good. I'll take the silver dagger and try to slide it under the door.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Is it too cheesy to cast guidance on him before he does it?
No.
Okay,
If
even
you
a
want to.
D4. It's not will cantrip, so guidance for everyone.
That's a great spell.
I got a
Mhm.
15.
Plus the D4.
No. So now I got to do a D4, I guess. Or does she roll it or do I roll it?
I think you roll it because you're doing the check.
Okay. So
I didn't think about that, but I did.
I got a 15 plus 3.
Okay. 18. So before you push open the door, Ragnar comes up with one of the silver daggers, kind of polishes it up a little bit, sticks it under the little gap that's open. Reflected off of it, you see a number of like lights from maybe candles or lanterns or something. So you see the little glow that there's some lighting in the room. You see it's hard to see, like, you're not going to see like a full scene like you have like a hidden camera in there, but you see like what looks like maybe you're probably looking into a bedroom. So there's like dressers, the shape of something that looks like maybe a bed in the middle, and then lights. So that's what you see from the reflection in the dagger.
So I tell them that. Looks like a bedroom.
Oh, good. We wanted to take a rest anyway.
You guys ready? You want me to open it?
Yeah.
All right, we're here. What the hell? I'll slowly push the door open.
Okay. So for those of you that are here, I'm doing this weird little remove the fog of war thing. Gotten really good at this. That work? There you go. All right. So Sal, or Ragnar, you push the door open, and you get this like sense of warmth again, like this like nice, elegant, like way out of context for Barovia, cold, shitty, gloomy, whatever. You get these sweet smells that waft from this delicately lit room. A great arched window along the west wall. Right here, big ass window. It's covered by these like really thick, like red velvety like draperies. They have like golden tassels that like glimmer in the light of 3 candelabras that are sitting atop these like small tables. I think you can see them in the picture. They're like in the corners of the room.
Mm-hmm.
That give the room quite a bit of light. And then right in the middle, like kind of canopied, is a huge bed with silk curtains. Is a big, elaborate headboard on the side, with like, and so Ragnar, you open the door, and you're a stone worker. You appreciate good craftsmanship. This is woodworking, and there's a huge Z, kind of like elegantly crafted in the back of this, the biggest like headboard you've ever seen on a master bed. And you're immediately drawn to the like skillfulness and quality of like the craftsmanship around the Z that's carved into this thing. And then on this bed, this really big, like fancy looking, Hugh Hefner looking bed, is these velvet and satin sheets and bedcloths. Is a young woman, maybe 20-year-old woman, laying in the bed. in a really like sleek like nightgown, and she's got these like she's wearing like little slippers, and one of them is like fallen to the floor at the foot's bed, at the bed's foot, the foot's bed, the bed's foot, the foot of the bed.
You don't
And-
think that's Strahd, do you?
Do I recognize her?
You don't.
Oh boy.
She is yeah, she's about 20. She's real thin. She's actually very pretty. She's got really dark black hair. She looks up at you. She kind of lazily kind of like looks over as the door opens, and then her eyes go real wide as if she were expecting somebody to walk in the door, and it wasn't the three of you, or the four of you. But no, she looks right up at you, and she has big, beautiful, crystal blue eyes.
I can't see her though, right? I'm still kind of standing back, or can I?
No, I would say you guys are all kind of in the doorway and kind of looking in as Ragnar pushed it open, and I'm just what I described. Everybody saw.
Would you describe her teeth as normal sized?
What a great first question.
She hasn't smiled yet. So her teeth, you haven't seen her teeth or canines, but she has voluptuous lips.
Okay.
God bless.
Not sure why I said that.
So,
Just looking at this picture, and voluptuous is the word that came to my mind. Let me see if I have a picture. I might.
Ragnar, tell her a joke so we can see her teeth. It's got pointy ones or nice ones, normal.
We want to see your big round teeth.
What's up, dude?
Hey, gang.
So real quick, 30-second recap. Did you read the recap?
I did.
You did. Okay, so you got that. You remember last week, we started in the study. Ragnar went heads down on the Tomastrad while everybody else kind of chilled out. Deckard played with his coloring book. The rest of them just kind of chilled out and got a short rest. Ragnar did an amazing job of kind of describing what he learned from the Tome of Strahd, Strahd's personal diary. To paraphrase, and you can go read the recap and stuff, but Ragnar, you want to give, or Sal, you want to give like the top 3 or 4 quick points to Matt? I'm gonna go grab another just while you do that.
Yep. So Vasily von Holtz is Strahd von Zarovich.
Oh, that good thing we handed fucking
Right.
Irina right over to him. Good thing we
Yes.
did that, right?
So he uses that name to move. You know, he goes about the villages, they say, as a man cloaked in robes. But he uses that. He has been alive for about 300 plus years. He made a deal with death and killed his best friend and his brother to take his brother's fiance on the night of their wedding. Killed his brother. This girl Tatiana, who is in the painting that we saw in the study, that looks to us exactly like Irina. So
like we had talked about a long time ago, Matt, Strahd is Setzer.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's
it's very
That's
Celis
pretty
Celis
accurate.
is close enough. It's fine.
very Setzer-esque.
Uh-huh.
So he's Vasily. And then the mist seems to be to keep him in because he's trying himself to get out of this fucking place and he can't. So I don't know. Every few decades he encounters somebody who looks like the girl that he lost, and every time he gets his hands, whenever he gets his hands on her, she dies tragically. So she seems to be reincarnated, or death seems to be playing a trick on him, and every time he gets near her, he wants to just marry this girl and move on. but he can't. And we handed her to him. He's got a crypt underneath the castle. He's there, and Deckard and Alaric are going down, scoping the place out. And we went in this room because we heard a girl, and we thought we were going to find Irina, but we found somebody with voluptuous lips.
Just a
Hey, you win some, you
vampire
lose some.
Very voluptuous lips.
It's a
Yeah.
vampire hooker.
Yeah.
All right. So business as usual in Barovia. Got it.
You and
Yeah.
Juniper heard
Oh,
of it.
but one more thing for him. He does mention in his diary, like obviously he mentions that he is a vampire, and he mentions that the only thing he really fears is sunlight, but he also fears that damn sword, as he refers to it, which I believe was his brother's who he murdered. But it's like that's a sun sword, and it's very, very similar to what you carry.
Think
So
that's the
we
one
have
that-
the things. We have the tools that he don't like.
That sword was
Say
his
the thing.
brother's.
Say the thing.
Oh, I missed you saying that before.
It seems so. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but it seems like it is.
Oh.
On a side note, does anybody else, when they watch Vox Machina, see Alaric when they see Grog? Because that happens to me every time.
Oh, always,
Yeah.
Okay.
always.
Yeah,
Just had to get that
it's
out.
Pretty much, yeah. I love
We-
it.
Are we
Yeah.
killing anything?
All right, sorry. Okay, cool. So that was a pretty good
Yeah.
summary.
Yeah, so started the session with a short rest as Ragnar was just studying the book, had a really good sort of group discussion around what he learned from the book, learned a bunch of stuff, everything he just shared. Deckard and Alaric are like, yeah, we don't have a good exit strategy here. We got what we need. Let's just go figure out where this basement is in this castle. So they've started heading down the steps. And then the rest of the party, yourself included, Thoradin, the room right next to this study, heard a woman whimpering or making noise. They just entered the room. So that's where we're at as you
And
join.
it's Big Lips McGee, we said.
Yeah. And so this is like an elegant master bedroom that they open the door into. It's pristine. It's immaculately maintained. It's one of the highest quality like beds and bedrooms any of you have ever seen. And then laying in the bed is a very young, beautiful woman. And Ragnar and Spargo, you guys are in the door. What do you want to do?
I think I'll do like a half-hearted bow, and try to sound articulate and be like, "Oh, excuse me, miss. Stumbled in here. I'm here to clean."
She
just kinda-
grabs her. When you say that, she grabs the sheets around her and she goes, "Oh, I thought it would be my master or Cyrus to come in to clean. I don't recognize you."
Oh, that's
And she
funny you
seems
mention
like
that.
reserved.
Cyrus mentioned that he asked me to come and take his place. He's taking care of other business.
He said we could go out the front door.
So Ragnar, make a deception check.
Oh boy.
Not his strong suit. 17.
Oh, nice, dude. Good stuff.
Silver
All right.
tongue relic hunter, they call me.
Nice.
So wait, what did you say again?
I told her that I spoke to Cyrus and I came here in his stead, and he's on other business. He asked us to come clean up here.
When you say that, she goes, "Oh," and she seems to be like almost sort of making like covering for herself a little bit or something. She goes, "Well, that's right. He told me. I totally remembered that there was going to be someone else this week. So, yeah, fine. I mean, if you need to clean the room."
Thank you, my lady. We'll try to stay out of your hair.
Okay, and is Lord Strahd coming back?
I think he'll be back presently. No, you can never know with the great Lord Strahd, but I think he'll be back presently.
Oh, good.
He won't keep you
Yeah.
waiting too long.
Oh God, I can't wait. It's been so long.
Well, you know what they say about good things coming to those who wait.
I know, and it's so nice here. I'll just wait. But thanks for cleaning the room. Can you bring me more wine?
We can definitely do that. And
Oh, good.
I point over at Spargle. You make sure you have wine sent up here.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, he did, that little one does look like another one of the Abbott's creations. He's got that funny face.
That's fucked up.
All right, I
Fuck-
fireball.
Fucked up, but true.
he had a fireball already.
You see him like kind of hold that he's still got that hand up like he's ready to, and he just like
He's like
kinda-
wiggling his fingers, like there's
Yeah,
a little bit of
no,
smoke between them.
yeah. No, he lets that out.
All right, so I look at the three of them, and I just kind of like mouth under my breath, like, "Clean the room." Like, just pretend you're cleaning the room. You know,
Oh,
sweet.
okay. I'll go in there and I'll like hit the comforter a little bit, and the other little dust, and not very.
All right, so so Thoradin, Spargle, and Juniper. If you're gonna pretend to be cleaning the room, make deception checks again, or performance checks, whatever you prefer.
Performance. All right.
Actually, make performance checks.
You know, it's funny. Our group is notoriously bad at deception checks, and like that goes back to fucking Fandelver with fucking Will
Yeah.
and like the Red Brand. Like we've always been
that was the best.
so bad at deception.
Well, Will, you got that low charisma, but you're always like shooting.
He's
Yeah,
always in
he's
position to do it.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, it's always made funny stuff. I got a 9, so I'm not super convincing with my.
I got a natural 20, so
Yeah. So at first, so Spargle comes in and is starting to like fold pillow. Like I don't know what like Spargle. You're trying to fold a pillowcase, but you're it's. She's looking at you like you're crazy, and she's like, "What's wrong with this guy?" But Thoradin comes marching in, and he grabs it from you, and he snaps it, and he folds it up real nice, and she's just like, and she looks at Thoradin, and she goes, "Is that wrinkled faced guy new?"
I take the fitted sheet and I go, "This is how you fold a fitted sheet, my lad."
There you go.
There you go.
I look
That's
at her and
master. Like if you tell me how to do that,
Right.
I look at her and I say, "That's Torghast. He's our best and brightest."
Torgus.
That's
Holy
fucked
shit.
up.
That's good.
fucked
You
up.
remember that. But Juniper's the same way. She's just following Thoradin, and she looks like she's been doing this for years, and kind of cleans up the room. And the girl just ignores you after a point and looks at you as if you're the help. And she then starts to get a little bit like antsy, and she's sitting on the side of the bed, like kicking her feet and going like, "All right, well, who's getting me the wine?"
Not very good at this cleaning thing, so maybe I'll head out and get some wine for you.
Okay, bring bread back and stuff too. I've been sitting up here forever. This is annoying.
How long you been?
Bacon.
Hey, I haven't seen him in like a week, and then that little the little monster face has been gone. He went out to take out the garbage like 3 days ago and hasn't come back.
Don't worry, milady. I'll have Cyrus. We'll talk to Cyrus about that. I'm gonna straighten things out with these mongrel folk here. I'm gonna straighten them out. Don't you worry. But
Okay.
we'll
I'm pretty
see to your
new.
needs.
I'm pretty new, but where is the wine? Where do I go for the wine? Cyrus is supposed to teach me this stuff.
I don't know. Just I don't know, bring me something, or I'm so bored.
Okay. You could go for a walk if you want. There's a nice.
Am I supposed to leave this room?
Oh, all right.
So Ragnar sees him stumbling. Oh no, I belay that. Good.
All right. I will make my way out of the room because I'm obviously not a very good cleaner compared to those two. And
I'm
I
like
didn't
the
see
head
any
butler.
wine in the main library area, of course, right? I assume it's down.
Nope, there wasn't wine in the study. This is a bedroom, so you haven't seen anything so far. Where you been?
Was there another doorway from that we didn't use yet
From the study?
from study?
Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. I should probably do this a little bit cleaner.
That top, like,
Yeah, let me do the outer edge here so you can see the borders of the room. Oh, would that work?
oh, okay.
Hold on, I'll do it better. How's that?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you should be able to see that the door that you all are standing at is right here, and you've kind of moved into that doorway. There was another door over here. This is the door that those guys came through, and there was another door here.
Got it. Okay.
So this young woman seems disinterested in you guys, almost as if like you were sitting in your hotel room and the housekeeping came in and started changing your bed and you're more interested in your iPad or your TV and they're just milling about. So that's her attentiveness to the three of you at this point. She's kind of like looking at the bed. Occasionally she looks around to see if someone has brought her wine, but otherwise is ignoring you.
I start heading towards the door. We got a lot of work to do, lads. Strahd is needing us to clean a lot of places. Let's go get this lady her wine.
She hears you say that, like, or some part of what you say, and she goes, "Yeah, tell him I've been up here for like ever."
Valley Girls in Barovia.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is how a 49-year-old role plays a young woman.
Nice.
That's what I remember, from the 80s.
From the 80s.
But yeah, so if you guys want to just step out, she won't pay any attention to you.
Ragnar's gonna step out.
Yeah,
All right,
Juniper's gonna out too.
Okay. And so everybody is out of the room. Spargle is looking around for wine. I'm going to jump back over to Deckard and Alaric. So while this is going on upstairs, you guys have found yourselves at the next level down in this staircase. What would you like to do? Do you want to continue? Do you want to continue down the stairs? Do you want to see what's on this floor? Do you want to go back up for some
Yeah, what do we
reason?
see on this floor? Do we see doors? Is it a hallway?
Yeah, so what you see, so it's sort of like this big cylindrical spiral staircase, and you've kind of all you've done so far is go down one level to the next landing. And you can go there's a way to stay on this floor and go see what's on the floor, or continue down, or go back up.
I want to go peek around the corner just to see what's beyond.
Okay. Yeah. So, Alaric, you good with that too?
Sure.
All right. So you guys kind of like poke your heads in here. That's where it gets funky. And you see basically this is just a long, narrow corridor that goes down to like the corner of the building. This is where like the isometric gets a little funky because of staircases and stuff like that. But so let's just ignore the map right now. Sort of theater of the mind. You've landed on this stairway, and when you poke out and you look down the stairway, it's just a hall that goes all the way down to like what you spatially aware are is like the corner of the building. So probably one of the turret.
Okay.
You know, if you're looking at castle and it has those like big turret kind of corners on a big traditional castle, this hallway lands in one of those turret areas.
Alaric would say to Deckard, I don't think they're going to have any tombs down there. Let's make
man,
our
I
way
agree.
down further.
Let's keep going.
All right.
Wow.
So you are going to go down. Okay, sorry. This is like, sorry, you have to have a little patience with me. This place is super convoluted and I don't want to screw it up.
It's all right, as long as we're not killing any NPCs, right?
We already had a little flashback on some of that. Let's see. All right, so if you go down the stairs, I'm not going to mess with maps yet because it'll take me a minute. But it lands on it takes you down another floor to another landing with a dark passage that runs about 20 feet, connecting an archway to the west with the staircase that you're on. To the north and the south are 4 10-foot square alcoves that are just like have like mounds of just crap in them. And then the ceiling on this floor, it's starting to be like feel a little bit like a little bit more like cave-like or like some moisture and stuff. So like when you look up, you see like moldy like lichen type of stuff kind of growing on this floor. It's getting more like damp and moist and cave-like as you go down
kind
the
of
floors.
indicating that we're getting low.
Maybe, yeah. So that's what you see. I'm gonna try to move us to maps here if I can find them in this goddamn thing.
Sorry, I had to put the dog out real quick.
Oh, good. Those guys have just moved down one more floor. It's getting a little bit more like damp and cave-like down here, but they're just on another landing.
Got it.
Oh, there we go.
So it kind of feels like we might be getting underground here, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And oh, I'm sorry. So the staircase, as you got down, it spiraled down, and then it sort of at this level has turned into more of a sort of what I would say like traditional like straight down staircase. So when what you see here is you've come down the spiral staircase. There's a landing, and then now you can see it goes straight down to another room that's a little bit dark below.
I mean, I say we just keep going down the stairs. We say we keep let's just keep going down and see how far this thing goes.
That's what I would do.
So yeah, that's what we do.
All right, hold on 1 second. Trying to make sure okay. Bear with me here. Okay. How's that look? Okay. So that's what I kind of described is the spiraling of the staircases ended. It came to its own little landing. You drop down. Now you're in this room, Alaric and Deckard, that I just described. So it's this 20 feet room. It's
Is it super dark?
What's that?
Is it real dark?
Yeah, I mean it's still pretty dark. There's no lighting here other than anything that you guys are bringing.
Can Deckard see?
Oh yeah, I can't.
We've been holding hands the whole time. Everything's fine.
Alaric, I'm having
Well-
trouble seeing all the things that you can see.
You just need to get the
Let me show
T-bone
y'all.
ridge with the undercut.
Wait, so Alaric, you're good, right? You can
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
I can
some
see
level
everything.
of introvision? Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yeah, Deckard though, at this point, it is dark. It's very dark.
right.
Deckard, do you have means of
Do I have?
illuminating something to
I'm
see?
pretty sure
or
I
is it
have.
just
Do I have
me
a torch?
guiding you?
I had a torch at one point. Yeah, I have a torch. Can I light my torch?
You can. I think Sparkle had been illuminating things for you previously, but yeah,
Yeah.
you can light it. You can spark a torch.
I have a torch and a tinderbox, so I'll go ahead and light my torch.
Why don't you take a look at all
Did
the
I-
different things I can see?
Yeah. So I have Deckard just has I've got my hand crossbow in one hand and the torch in the other.
Yeah. So you spark the torch. Alaric, you've already kind of led him down to the bottom of this long staircase, and you're in this room with these 4 alcoves, and it just looks like there's mounds of shit in each of the alcoves. And now when Deckard lights his torch, you look in, and it literally is just mounds of garbage. I mean, it's just
Rubble.
old cloth and clothing and stuff. It's just piles of laundry that's just been abandoned. Dirty rags, rotting pots, stuff like that.
Nothing of interest. I didn't
Make an you want to
Yeah.
are you searching? Are you looking
Yeah.
through stuff or are you just glancing around?
So,
I'm gonna kind of walk up and kick rubble around with my foot, see if I see anything.
so while he's doing that,
alright,
I want to do the same thing. Make an investigation check, but I want to see if I can tell, even a guess, how long it's been since anybody's moved here. Do I see any kind of dusty footprints, handprints, anything? Any signs?
All right. So Deckard make an investigation check. Alaric make an insight check.
Gotcha.
23.
Say again.
23.
23 and a
17
17. Okay. All right. So first, so Deckard kicking around rubble and stuff like that. You actually notice that one of the flagstones in the southeast alcove, so that's kind of the first one that you saw when you came in, has you kick it and it's elevated a little bit enough that it catches your foot, so you reach down and you pick it up. And it's covering a hidden cubbyhole in the floor, and there's this leatherish sort of sack in it. And you pull you pull the sack up, and if you even touch it, you can tell it's full of coins.
I like coins.
And
Yeah, I pulled the sack of coins out of there.
You pull
yep,
this out.
and when you pull your sack out, You see that your moldy sack. It's full of it's got 150 electrum pieces. So those like more high end, expensive kind of coins that all have the visage of Strahd stamped into them. So the same electrum pieces that you've seen, but quite a few of them. 150 electrum pieces. So you can add that to your inventory. Yep, that's it.
Okay, and that's what I find.
Yep, that's it.
Cool.
And Alaric, you were checking what?
Trying to see if there was signs of life or movement here anywhere in the recent past.
Got it. You see, you can tell that so this room is not as like clean or pristine as the study upstairs where you guys found the Thomas Rod. It's more of the like neglected area of Barovia that you're used to. So you can see that there's been a relative amount of traffic through here. It's enough that you can't really pinpoint like who made the traffic and stuff, but you can see like through the dust, like there's not like settled dust, like nobody's been in this room for a long
Okay, so it's
time. You
not
can tell that
abandoned.
correct. People have been in and out of here in the recent past.
Okay. We got these little alcoves, and there's like a doorway.
Actually, it's open, so it's open to the west. There's like an arcing like opening. It's only that you're not close enough to it to cast your light or see or your vision in there that you haven't seen into it.
Gotcha. Deckard, should we maybe try to convene with the group and see how they're faring before we venture further into the darkness?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Why don't we head back up and tell them what we found here, and at least we know we can get all the way down here without running into any bad guys.
Yeah. I think it makes sense.
So I think
All
it's
right.
fair to say Alark and I run back up to alert the group to what we've been up to.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys made it down another floor. You found this abandoned safe area. It continues into the interior of what I would call the mid-level of the complex, right? Like I'm giving you guys the benefit of the doubt that you have spatial awareness of where you're at. You teleported in to the study. You were out on the parapet. You could tell you were pretty much at the upper level, right? So if you're thinking of like, hey, here's a big giant castle and the person who owns it, their stuff is up at the top. You just kind of dropped right in to the heart of the thing, and now you're trickling back down, is the sense that you've gotten. So jump back over to the rest of the group. So after some time, you guys go in, you see this woman laying in this bed, you pull back into the study, like, what the hell was that? And by that time, Deckard and Alark come back up. And what do you guys want to share that you've discovered with the rest of the group? Just what they had.
Yeah.
They had heard.
Yeah, we just share with them what we know up to. Right? Yeah. Just hey, nothing. We can get all the way down like the basement. There's nothing in our way.
Yeah.
Juniper and Thoradin heard some lady, and we went and talked to her. It wasn't Irina. It was more like a, I don't know, Tatiana wannabe kind of lady, and seemed to really just want to have Strahd come play her a visit. So we shut the door and left. She wants me to bring her wine, but I'm not going to bring her wine. I'm not.
Was she was she human or vampire or what was?
Didn't seem
look
to
like
be
it.
undead.
So just a Strahd play toy, huh?
think
There's
so.
another room here. Maybe there's a place where they draw her food from, and we can get her drunk and see what she might tell us if that's worth doing, or if you want to just go into the
That's true. I
down the
don't think
steps.
there's anything too dangerous up here right now. I think we would have died already if it was, but maybe I'll.
I vote we get out of here. I don't want to test our luck and toy, and all of a sudden
But what-
Strahd shows up here or something.
But what if like these are like nice living areas? What if Tatiana is one of maybe he's got like a whole, harem up here, or not Tatiana Arena. Maybe we just peek in doors. Like
There are other rooms up here that we could look at real quick.
I think it's just gonna be like a broom closet or something. But I'll peek in that one in the north for right now.
This one?
Yeah.
All right. So, Decker and Alara come back in the room. You guys explain what's going on, or what you guys found each other. Spargo, you peek, you pop that door open, and it is super pitch black dark in there. You have infravision?
Yeah.
So you're infravision. What's that?
I think everybody does.
So-
Deckard.
Okay, so yeah, so when you pop the door open, your sort of eyes adjust to the infravision, realizing that it's pitch black in here, no lighting at all, and it's another spiral staircase downward.
Oh. There's another stairway here. Maybe it's more of the master's chambers or something.
Down. I'm sorry, staircase down. I just shared it.
I'll go
And it's
take
yeah,
a peek. Can Deckard run down and take a peek real quick at the bottom of those stairs? Stealth. No?
yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just reading. I'm trying to figure out what's going on since you guys are running all over this fucking castle. So Deckard, you kind of like brush past Spargle and look down the staircase just to see what the room is below. And you see that room, which would be from your sort of awareness, would be the same level down that you and Alaric went down a different way, right? So your same like depth, you've dropped 15, 20 feet down one more floor. But here you see that the room at the base of the stairs is a 30-foot square with a really tall 20-foot ceiling. There's a stone brazier burning in the center of the room. And it's this crazy looking, like, torchy brazier thing with all these crystals and stuff on it, with all these different colored crystals around it. And then over ahead of it is a wood-framed hourglass as tall and wide as a dwarf. It's about 10 feet above the brazier. Is that how you say it? Brazier? Brazier?
Brazier.
Brazier or brazier?
Brazier. I think
It's not a
I think
bra.
it's, I think it's
No.
Brazier.
Is it Brazzers?
Brazier. It's Brazier.
Double Z there.
Yeah, Brazier.
I thought it was like a je brazier.
Yeah.
Like je brazier.
All right. Well, like a fucking candle thing. Suspended from the ceiling by thick iron chains.
It's like the grape field.
All the sand is stuck in the upper portion of the hourglass, seemingly unable to run down into the bottom. Written in glowing script on the base of the hourglass is a verse in common, which you're a little bit too far away to see, Deckard. And then there's two really tall, like 9-10 foot tall iron statues of these knights on horseback, poised to charge with their swords drawn. And they stand in the like alcoves on the side, like flanking this room, facing each other. And then the candle brazier thing is in between the two of them.
Knights are super sus.
But that's all you see from like just glancing into the room. You'd have to like go.
Okay,
into
can I
the
get
room.
close enough, or like I want to read what it says, common, but I want to be careful. Like, I don't know. I want to watch for traps. Like, are there loose stones on the floor, tripwires? I don't know. I don't.
Okay.
These two knights are weirding me out.
Right. No, I dig that. So first, make an investigation check.
$17.
Nice.
17. You don't see any like traps of any sort or any mechanisms or anything that seem out of the ordinary. So you step a couple steps into the middle of the room confidently. And you have really sharp eyes. You have really high like visual perception. So let's see if they actually have this in here so I don't have to do it. Holy shit, they do. All right, so this is what you see written into it. Did that pop up?
Yeah.
So you get close enough and you see that written into it says, cast a stone into the fire. Violet leads to the mountain spire. Orange to the castle's peak. Red if lore is what you seek. Green to where the coffins hide. Indigo to the master's bride. Blue to ancient magic's womb. Yellow to the master's tomb.
Ooh. Do we have the Infinity Stones?
Right.
Somebody call
Yeah,
Vision.
right. Oh,
He
he's
has
super
one in his
dead.
Deckard
Have we
snaps
come
his
across-
fingers.
head.
Yeah.
I am Deckard.
I am Deckard. Do we have any colored stones?
What is that? I don't think that's what that means, right? Or it,
Is it a metaphor?
yeah. Cast a stone into the.
Oh, I was wondering if it meant like throw a yellow stone and
What'd you
Why?
say, Amber?
It kind of reminds me of like seafaring stuff, right? You shine a certain color light to signal something.
Oh.
are there any loose stones laying around anywhere?
I got a whole pouch of stones.
Yeah, if you want me to
Yeah.
piss into the fire, we could go to the master's tomb.
You hear Deckard from down below. Hey, Juniper, bring them little pebble stones you got in that. Bring
Hey,
them
let me
pebbles down.
let me just reread real quick, guys. The text description to make sure I didn't miss anything. So there are stones already in the brazier. So it's like it's. Let me just read it verbatim. The room's 30 feet square, rising to a 20-foot tall flat ceiling. A stone brazier burns fiercely in the center of the room, but its tall white flame produces no heat. The rim of the brazier is carved with 7 cup-shaped indentations spaced evenly around the circumference. Within each indentation is a spherical stone, twice the diameter of a human eyeball and made of a colored crystal. No 2 stones are of the same color. Overhead, a wood-framed hourglass as tall and wide as a dwarf hangs 10 feet above the brazier, suspended from the ceiling by thick iron chains. All the sand is stuck in the upper portion of the hourglass, seemingly unable to run down into the bottom. Written in glowing script on the base of the hourglass is a verse in common, which Deckard, you just read in what I shared with you. Two 9-foot tall statues of knights on horseback, poised to charge with swords drawn, stand in deep alcoves facing each other, and the brazier sits between them. So you've got this big square room, these 2 alcoves with these iron knights on horses pointed right at this like porch-like structure in the middle with the infinity stones already embedded in it all around it. These 7 colored stones.
It's a trap.
It absolutely is a trap.
But I'm going to
All right.
pause there. So Deckard has walked into this room and seen all this. I'm going to jump back to the others.
I was gonna say, it's a trap. So what stone are we throwing in?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Probably Master's Tomb, right?
yellow, it sounds like takes us to Strahd.
I was gonna say we should maybe go to the Master's Bride, see if we can get
Yep.
Irina back.
Yeah,
Like
that'd
that.
be
And
good
get
to
whatever
her
information she has.
first. Yeah,
Yep.
save her ass before we.
I mean, she might be super dead.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know
Please.
if that's yeah.
He won't kill her. He's got to do
Right.
all sorts of shit to her.
Exactly. I don't think she's that much of a concern at this point, right?
That, and if we kill Strahd, then we can go rescue her.
Right.
And we don't have to worry about Strahd showing up while we're rescuing her.
Right.
you say that as if it's really easy.
We just go down there and stick something through his heart.
I would have
Look
been.
around and leave.
I would have been all about going right after Strahd, but we had so much trouble with the armor guy. So.
Well,
But I
that
mean,
was fucky. That was a
Yeah.
fucky fight.
How many more levels are we gonna gain though? So like we gotta fight him.
Yeah, and Dan's very cheap with the fucking levels. Let's be honest. No, I'm just kidding. Dan, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
All right. So Deckard sees this thing and goes down the steps. Deckard, are you staying there for now? Am I just pausing there? Were you
Yeah,
gonna do anything besides run back up?
Well, I mean, I don't know how far can they hear me when I yell out to them? Am I close enough for that, or do I have to go up there to talk to them?
If you were to like shout, which means you were making a lot of noise, they could probably.
I'll run back up and tell them what I've found.
Okay. I'm not trying to suggest anything, but if you were to run back up, as you're running back up, ready to explain to the rest of the group what you just saw down there at the bottom of the stairs. Those of you who had stepped out of that room where that young woman was. You now hear from Juniper. You have the most sharpest of ears. As you guys are backing out of that room, no one's interested in this woman who wants wine and who seems to be mesmerized by Strahd. But beyond her, you hear this you hear a voice, like a deeper, like you hear like a louder, majestic kind of voice. I would say Juniper and Spargle and Ragnar make perception checks, because you all hear this a voice from down below.
8.
10.
19.
Would you have, Juniper?
19.
19. So none of the rest of you realize this yet, but Juniper, you pick up on, like, you immediately realize it's the abbot's voice. The abbot from the abbey at St. Markovia, who you had left and we were talking about earlier. And you can't make out the words or anything, but you can tell that it's coming from down below, like, let's say in the courtyard. So if you guys wanted to, you would have to move through the room with the woman and like kind of like towards the window to be able to hear better. Or go somewhere else or ignore it.
Well, Juniper would definitely at least stop, and Sparkle's right next to her and Thornton.
Yeah, you guys are all kind of back in the study, just on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, so she would immediately turn around and go, "Oh, hey, the abbot's here. Can't tell what he's saying. He's definitely here."
Hmm.
I can tell by the prickling of the hair in my ears.
Juniper, can you conjure any wine so we have a reason to go back into that room?
Let's see. I can minor illusion. Nope, that's a sound or an image of an object within range that lasts for the duration. I could maybe do an illusion of it. Because the only other thing that I have that might work is with water. Sparkle might be able to do something.
Same thing. I can make a minor illusion. I can make some fake stuff.
Decker, don't you have bottles of wine? You carry copious amounts of wine on you.
Maybe what we can do.
Let's give her
is-
wine and go to the window. Sorry, Juniper.
Well, another thing we could do is maybe I could turn into a mouse and run through the room, and one of you could chase me with a broom. And then we all get through.
That's not a bad idea.
Don't actually hit me. Can you find a broom?
Is there anything in here that I could use? Like,
Do I have wine? Sorry, I got
Books.
distracted.
There's plenty of books. You could be chasing a rat around or a mouse around with books and trying to hit it.
I'm pretty sure I had wine, but I can't confirm for sure.
I think we all had wine, to be honest with you.
you
I think
took you took a lot of bottles. You were taking bottles like it was your job. I
That's
don't know if
pretty
you tried.
probably fair to assume. If had you wanted to keep some wine, you would have some on you. Maybe. I don't know. You did kind of distribute a lot of it as bribery and payment and whatever you could as you went along. So I don't know. I kind of like I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
I have 5 carnelians. Whatever those are.
they're stones, right?
Juniper, turn into a mouse, I guess.
Before you even finish speaking, Juniper's a mouse, and she's on the ground. And
Not a mouse.
she looks like a normal little field mouse, but she's got 2 tiny little horns.
All right,
She-
I'll take some lazy swings at you as you run through that room and head towards the window in there.
All right,
Sparkle.
Ragnar, make an attack
Oh God.
Oh God.
with the intention that you're purposely missing, but
Better not
you never
fail.
know. You never know.
Juniper does some light stretching before she sprints through the room.
So if he's doing it with the intention of missing, can he roll with disadvantage? Is that how that would work?
I would think I would roll. Yeah, like I don't want to kill him.
I'm just having him roll a d20. If he gets a 1, it's going to be bad. That's all.
I mean, Ragnar, don't worry, you can't kill me. If worst thing that'll happen is we'll have egg on our face because I'll turn back into myself.
Yeah, spoiler alert, that's exactly what I was going to have happen. If he rolls
Alright.
a 1, you're going to smack her, and she's going to turn back into Juniper.
All right, I'll roll the d20.
So
Natural 20.
Ooh.
Did she really?
Yeah.
All right, so in this brilliant display of theatrics, Ragnar completely misses Juniper as she mazes through the room. The woman, a little bit surprised, kind of leaps back, initially in shock, and then almost immediately just annoyed and perturbed when she doesn't see wine. She's a little bit scared of a mouse, and then flips to just bothered that you guys are disrupting her. But so who's close to the window?
We're gonna all make our way towards the window, so like hopefully Juniper is like darting around over there, and like Sparkle, if you could kind of like follow along, you're my
Yeah.
little like my cleaning helper guy.
Yeah.
All right. So Spargle and Ragnar, and then Juniper to a degree. If you look out the window from here, you get this angle down to this to the front of the whole complex. So from here, you just have a very loose sort of line of sight of where, if somebody were to walk in the front door of Castle Ravenloft and there's a bridge that comes across, you can kind of see that entrance at a very limited view. But what you do see is, based on what you heard and can see from this great distance, your assumption is the abbot, the man you met at the Abbey of St. Markovia, who you provided the wedding dress for, and he's walking into the courtyard area across this bridge. And he has some attendants that look like short little, they look like the Jawas, basically, at this point from Star Wars. They're like all covered up and stuff like that. And they're kind of walking all weird like. About 5 or 6 of them. If you're putting things together, you'd assume they're mongrel folk. And then this beautiful, elegant woman walking alongside of them, wearing the wedding dress that you guys had procured and provided the abbot. And from this distance, this is like a, you're looking at like a royal wedding, Princess Diana walking down this is like an elegant woman, from what you can see. But then if you want to just quietly sort of listen, you hear this man and this woman as they walk in addressing somebody, and within a few seconds you see Strahd walking out into the courtyard with his flowing black hair, his elegant cloak. He's flanked by another man who you haven't seen before, who looks relatively similar to him, also in very elegant sort of royal court kind of armor type stuff, and a couple other attendants. And they walk out and they meet each other in the middle of this courtyard. And you, Spargle, Ragnar, Juniper, whoever's listening, you hear the whole exchange. And so the abbot says, "My Lord Strahd, I present to you this beautiful bride, crafted with my own hands and imbued with life, in hopes that she may bring you happiness and help you find peace within your heart." Strahd walks out, he bows, and he starts laughing. Just starts with a little chuckle, and it starts to gain some momentum. He says, "You truly are a fool, abbot. Do you genuinely believe that I would ever consider marrying such an abomination? Your desperation to please me is both pathetic and amusing." And the abbot suddenly looks like taken aback and stammering. He says, "My lord, I thought you that she might." He says, "Silence. Your incompetence knows no bounds. You may have fooled these simple folk with your charade of holiness, but I see through you. You are a failed experiment, a disgrace to the celestial beings you claim to serve." And then Strahd goes like this with his hand. He kind of goes like this. And the beautiful woman creature in the gown that you guys had acquired suddenly just literally melts, as if you took like a woman made out of wax and placed it over a bonfire. It just starts to just crumble into the ground and just melt, and the beautiful gown dress that you found just kind of like merges in with all the schlur and everything.
Schlur?
It's a good word. Schlur.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot of
And then he-
schlur on the floor.
And Strahd points at this schlur, this pile of shit, and he says, "Look upon your failure, abbot. This monstrous creation of yours is as vile and wretched as the twisted souls you have been helping at your abbey." And the abbot starts continuing. He's like whispering. He's like, I only wanted to help them, to make them better. And Strahd just smirks and he says, "Oh, you've been helping them indeed. Helping them become monstrous, grotesque beings. Your misguided attempts to cure the Bellevues have only led to more suffering and pain. It's a fitting testament to your own corruption." And the abbot just looks completely defeated and ashamed, and he says, I will leave at once, my lord. Please forgive my insolence." Strahd kind of says, "Yes, please do leave. But do not abandon your little project at the Abbey. I find it intriguing. Continue your twisted work on the Bellevues, abbot. After all, you wouldn't want to disappoint me further, would you?" And the abbot now is trembling, and he says, "No, my lord, I will continue as you command." And Strahd just grins wickedly as the abbot leaves, his faith shaken and his purpose now twisted by Strahd's influence. And we'll end the session there.
Sounds like Strahd needs a Snickers.
Sounds like
the abbot might need
was
one too.
He needs a stiff drink.
Yeah. Good. Fuck that
That-
guy.
Abbott too was, I don't know. He seemed pretty powerful, and Strahd just put his ass in place, man.
You know the
Yeah,
I'm
meme.
scared again. Going downstairs.
You know the meme with Ralphie on the bus, and he says, "I'm in danger."
That's-
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
That's us right now.
Yeah.
yeah, the abbot gave me like Sauron vibes, you know. And now I'm like, ugh.
Not
Based
just
on the-
another orc.
Based on the book, I think I have a feeling who he is, or something to relate it to what he is, but it's too much of a stretch that I don't want to corrupt the session with it.
Oh, the
But-
Abbott.
Yeah. Because he said something, Strahd just said something to him. Like, you're a failed experiment or something.
Ooh.
And remember I was saying before that there was a time when Strahd went in a room where there was like holy symbols and stuff, and he almost got jacked up.
Mm.
So along those lines.
Oh, Sal, you're too smart for your own damn good.
You give me the guy's diary, I'm gonna fucking read it.
Honestly, Matt, you should. I gave you the paraphrase version, but if you have time, watch the first 10 minutes of the session on the stream, because Sal did a great job of sort of like recapping what he learned from the Tome of Strahd, and I think it would be
That's
helpful.
right. I could watch the stream. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Very good.
Yeah, if you're sitting on the shitter and you got 10 minutes, I'd do it. It's definitely filling the gaps.
Oh, yeah. I'll probably watch the whole fucking stream on the shitter. I fucking go in there and that's it.
All right. Well, before we rant more, I'll cut the stream off there.